It's very fascinating. You know, one line that I said at the very end that actually was an epiphany to me is that, you know, when you harness a certain power, you get to disappear into it. And that's kind of what I learned a little bit from these little things right here. You know, it's like you almost can't see them really quick. Why? Because of the ubiquity of the pattern. So when you stand them at certain angles, you're actually looking at a mirror right here, but it's mirroring the pattern. Anyway, this underneath, wow, incredible, incredible, incredible data right here. Interesting, incredible data here. We're seeing the architecture of essentially the 13th dimension. This was the topological, oh, interesting, 13th dimensional field. Anyway, now that I built this version of the model, I think I still have a lot of data to get out of this before I leave it. I at least probably need to get up to part like 70 or something before I move on to other dimensions. Because I might. No, the teleporter has to be 13th dimensional. It's not like the hoverboard, which you can really, well, the hoverboard ended up having to be 10th dimensional because hover is the 10th dimension. I think all hoverboards from now on might actually be 10th dimensional. But anyway, let's proceed to test. You don't enter into a time machine lab to look at things. You enter into it to make progress. Let's get these out of here. Which dimension? This is the 13th dimension. Now, let's see if I can separate some of these because I would like to. Okay, it's not a big deal. Actually, I can leave the field intact as it is. Make sure all the encoding. Man, to be a teleportation engineer is another level. See, we have the 70 cores in here. All right, but this isn't show and tell, ladies and gentlemen. This is a laboratory of science of the highest order. But I'm gonna go full in. So one thing I've discovered, I call reusing plastic bags. I have a name for the project. I call it street kits. So anytime you reuse one of these grocery bags, it becomes a street kit. Actually, it's not a street kit until it's named. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, we're going all the way in. I'm just giving you guys all the detail now. Is because one of the inventions that I wanted to add onto the time machine was a self-cleaning mechanism. Now, that's actually highly ambitious because I don't even have simple moving parts. It won't be until part the 6 or 7, wow, it happened again, 6 or 7, but 6 or 7 series, probably the 7th, 8th actually, series of the time machines before I fully have moving parts, robotics and the like. But doesn't mean I can't assemble or manually operate the cleaning mechanism. So I've realized that the entropy has gotten too high in the time machine, and it's stalling our efforts. And so I have to do some maintenance, get some basic items out of here, and I might even need to move. So this thing back here, we have to get into all of it because it's all necessary when you're doing tests in here. Back here, this is called this tray right here that we're doing all these tests in. It actually has 2 walls. This one can fold up like this. This tray is called the time machine. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even list this when I was talking about my time machines. This is called the time machine tray or the time machine space. And this one, as you can see, has endured. And if you've seen my videos for a while, this guy has been endured. He has been a major part of the testing for quite some time. Okay. I did a little bit of organization here. Let's lower the entropy even further. Can't see some of what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I have to get another camera. I would like some sort of camera that looks like that. If I could like switch, angles, that would be pretty cool. But anyway, hey guys, we're working on a teleporter. So, wow, I've completely manhandled the teleporter. Let's move our lab over a tad. Let's keep it relatively centered, actually. So, interesting. I did make a little bit of progress understanding the teleporter sender and the receiver, which are on these two ends, and the volume that we would be operating in. Of course, these were originally just the containers that the kinetic sand came in. Transparency actually boosts the data, so I always just am honest about what I use. But anyway, what we need here, this is why I'm actually upgrading the time machine, because what we need here is far beyond this technology. Not only do we need moving parts, but truly we're gonna have to get into some sort of plasma generation. Up till now, I've been allowing a lot of static topological stand-ins, but it's going to get to the point quite quickly where that's not possible. Now what I'm going to do is get some testing done. I'm going to pote most of this apparatus into the third dimensional time machine and get some pure volumetric data. So just by getting it into the time machine, the 3D time machine, we'll be able to analyze it and highly encode the data. Perfect. Let's get a full 3-dimensional time travel here. Oh, some of the qubit lattice is leaking. Perfect. All right. All right. All right. Oh, interesting. Still wet. That is unexpected. It's time to begin inspecting the unexpected. So that data is basically fully encoded. The 2 time machines there. Let's go ahead and get the remainder of the temporal field in here as well. And we will allow that to fully encode. Oh, I kind of forgot that the time machine chips are in there. The density of time machines here has reached unprecedented levels. Now, while that's going, let's boost it a little bit further and even increase. Oh, this needs to go in there as well. No time to explain. While that's going, we'll get him off to the side a little bit. So this right here, can't see much of it, actually, fortunately. Yeah, there's levels to this. Is the time machine store It's a little bit larger. We're going to put a lot of the other testing implements in here in order to fully boost our space. It's called the Time Machine Store, or just the Time Machine Classic is another name for it, because these are the dimensions of the original Time Machine. The first Time Machine ever was 4x4x8. Just like this one. Well, this one's slightly larger. The acrylic series runs a little small. Just because let's get this in here. Let's go ahead and get these in here. Simply by, and it's very funny, you know, your parents tell you, hey, clean your room, clean your room. It's a common trope of childhood, not realizing the entire time they're trying to put you on the highest levels. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Fool. Anyway, they're trying to put you on to the heights, the pure audacious heights of science. They're trying to help you engage in time traveling. Thank you. Love you too. Love you right back. What was that? So these are, funnily enough, some pins. Simple push pins. Actually, they're acrylic. Interesting. That might have been some sort of effect of the time machine. This right here, most viral substance in the crew, really, because he's the one who boosted that one video that went off recently. That was about a month of virality that I enjoyed. And it's funny that it's simultaneously the shape of a light bulb. Gives you Edison vibes. All right. Excellent. 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 So now, actually, everything needs to go in. That some of our materials, just by, you know, and this is a last ditch effort right here, just by assembling our lab contents inside of the time machines, we're encoding the potentials. Though I think somebody was very correct that we will need, whoever said it, copper, in order to fully achieve really the atomic capabilities that we're pursuing. Because time, again, traveling in time is a lot about understanding. Actually, this needs to go in here. Interesting. It's funny that this would be one of the last pieces to go in. You would think it would be one of the first, and we seem to have also ended up. So one advantage of, why am I saying interesting? Okay, it's interesting. What can I say? Of time science. You have to really understand the fourth dimension, which is very hard for us to do as three-dimensional minded people. But one correlation, I should say, of the fourth dimension that I have is decay, which of course closely tied to entropy. But the general principle is just that everything is, of course, and this is obviously not a hyper original concept of mine or anything like that, but that everything is seeking its rest state. Now, the benefit of that happening inside of a time machine is the rest state is, why am I writing time machine on here? That's not what I meant to write. Let's redo it. Even mistakes are great data. The rest state is encoded into the time machine. Oh, that's why I wrote time machine, because I was saying time machine. But this is going to be the teleporter plank. Someone else said teleporter bands, and I switched it to teleporter planks, but I'm considering going back to bands. Bands is kind of cooler than planks. Planks sounds very piratey. Anyway, so let's encode this new teleporter band. Wow, I just got an idea actually. Teleporter 13. Okay, now let's begin careful excavation of the components. And see if we have managed to temporally teleport anything else. See, the lattice is quite literally entangled. So let's see what our entanglement produces by following a linear vector. Oh, just the lattice itself somehow freed itself. The question then is what it was entangled with. Fortunately, we're also, well, let's get into this a little bit before we move forward. Here we have the time machine portal, which was implanted into the teleportation sending volume as a sort of base encoding stabilizer. Also ended up some gold flecks, which is kind of interesting to me. Let's proceed from here. But he can just go right here. I'm really thinking about this, the topological teleportation field. It is quite interesting. So this seemed to find its place among some sort of teleportation shielding. All right. The 7D core from the hoverboard was found to be an indispensable component of the volume of the teleportation sending platform, or volume container, I should say, container. Now these individual teleportinos, topologically, of course, now that they're outside of the field, largely just balls of dried, but you know, they're retaining an interesting moisture. So we'll note that for the interns. Prying deeper in, of course, we had double encoded time machine portals, ring portals. Let's go ahead and actually, because while they're quite defunct, I don't know if they're fully defunct, while they have some issues, they're still wearable. Still wearable, even this one. Still wearable. We'll see if that highly encodes the data anymore. Oh. Wow. Wow. We'll see if that encodes the data anymore as we proceed. The time machine chips standing in as ubiquitous colloquial artifacts. Interesting. I do not recall the addition of this, so we'll just put them to the side as a potential teleportation result. Or and then we have multiple time machine chips here as well. Time machine. We'll see now if this was the 6 volume or the 7 volume. We're up to 4. All right. This will more than do it. That's 5 right there. How many volumes is there? There's 2. There's the sender and the receiver. Wow. Kinetic sand is retaining most of its properties, but though that should be expected. The fact that we're only at 5 is interesting. That might be what's wrong. It's good to get a good mix on that, though. That might also increase the potency. So this right here, standing in as the main teleportation, topological teleportation field. So if we can get this synced with the other volume, we'll be in for something. Now I see that we're going, it looks like we probably went 5/8 instead of 6/7. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Second core array, qubit lattice core array. Again, indispensable to the science. We have really fascinatingly, this is one of the original time machine rings when the invention was inaugurated, and it has some repairs to it, but seems to have functioned in stabilization. We'll go ahead and don that as well. There we are. I really should be wearing gloves, but also reserve that for tomorrow. All right, time machine ring number 4. Stabilize the encoding of the topological teleportation field. And let's, oh wow. Here, all the time machine bosons, aka time machine chips, seem to have, oh, you know what? Now I remember. Seem to have found themselves remaining together. Now we should have 8 here. If not, oh, you know what? I think I'm seeing some inside of the, yeah, I'm seeing some inside of the actual time machine. That's the benefit of the clear series. Check that out right there. There's some bosons in there. Here's 1. Taking us up to 6. Next one, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then we are finding our teleportation matter really standing in for the teleported object. See, there were 2 of these. Right now, you know, the data is so highly encoded because of the time machine rings that I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to steer our way into a new element. Not a new element in general, but a new element for us. All right. So that is the topological teleportation field. We'll leave that there. Let's see if we're teleporting anything. Sender receiver right here. Okay. Okay. So we have our teleportation band, teleporter 13 band. Let's bring. Oh. You know, I'm tempted to, let's do this first. Okay. So these two are teleportation bands that are entangled. Might not be much of a way, but we are going to do it anyway, as we were rethinking the construction of the model. It was great to have our first teleporter model, but we'll be right back. We'll be right back on top, ladies and gentlemen. Teleporter band number 2, added to the collection. I'm actually missing one, so we'll see if that is located. We're going to remove the teleportinos. Oh, no. Teleportino down, ladies and gentlemen. Teleporter band down. Very unfortunate. But it's good to know that we've likely superseded material exigencies. All right, and we have. Oh, don't worry. We'll just make another one. That's also the benefit of the paper series is hypervolatility, which gives. It's really the main benefit of the paper series. Is its extreme preference for decay. Of course, the acrylic series. If I had made acrylic teleporter bands, they would be fine, but we wouldn't have been able to get the data of that pressure point. So it's always good to learn. And especially when you're inventing something for the first time, you want to be traveling through time as fast as possible. Yes, it'll force you to take more action, but at this point, that's also a benefit because we don't even know what we're doing. 99.99999% of what we're doing is incorrect at this point. So we can't afford to move slow. That's just staying in incorrectness. We have to get out of this stage with extreme prejudice. All right. Okay. Definitely we're seeing, wow. Okay, whoa. I really didn't even see that guy till right now. He's sturdily on there. This guy was even adhered. Quite interesting. This is base teleportino. Okay. This is giving me some ideas about the general chirality of the 13th dimension. So I'll be pursuing that in some of my research. Wow. Okay. Not really even, oh, now I remember where that came from. Okay. So, cavity sectionality. We'll put that down. Yep. Okay, all right. And we're getting some residual qubit lattice entanglement as well, which we can go ahead and apply some energy. Boom. And the lattice is liberated. Though we still have really just a single teleportino on the line. I won't remove him at the moment. Oh, two. Okay, so those were the ones that had entangled the bands. The last thing I want to do, interesting. Okay, just that, it's just basic. Let's not linger there. Okay, great. So we have another teleporter band. Now this one was fully submerged in the field, and And it's looking a little worse for the wear, which to our benefit. Just straight BS. Hey, isn't that what I just said? We're 99.9999999% wrong. Though, the time machine is here to harness just that little bit of correctness in what we're doing, which is almost at this point entirely topological and metaphysical. So we have to extract that. But that's one of the benefits of a time machine, is focus. What's focus squared? What's focus cubed? Extraction. All right. I can definitely appreciate the skepticism, but we don't have time for that, guys. You can be skeptical all you want. Time is still ticking away. So let's continue. All right. What's going on there? Okay, one of the original matter pieces. So now we have pure topological teleportation field, gold infused. I saw something there for a second that didn't make any sense to me. We'll make note of that. No time to stop though. This could be applied, probably wise actually, to apply equally to disparate vessels. Okay. Extreme residue. That would need to be cleaned up. All right. Entropy has been sufficiently decreased. Let's make sure that we have 13 bosons, time machine chips. Just say that to keep it simple. 1, 2, what's going on here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Perfect. 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 Still have 13 time machine chips. And they have been through it, ladies and gentlemen. Part of, I think, the success of this test is going to be to neutralize the stickiness, for lack of a better word, of the topological 13th dimension. Either by getting a different medium or conquering the medium as it is. Sorry. Just getting the rest of that out of there. Time Machine Studio. This is where the acrylic series shines, is that it's highly resilient. Right now you probably can't even tell I have an acrylic series on top of a paper series. Now, I did want to replace this broken one because I was having a little bit of an epiphany on the potential of four time machine bands fully interacting, as we are doing all these tests in the fourth dimension. Let's get these time machine chips moved out to the side here. We're going to do another teleportation test. Now that we have our volumes reset, I would also like a different topological time machine boson, though I want to ban these ones just yet. That's just inverse tachyon interference, potentially. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go ahead and let this encode inside of the time machine store. Three time machines here, one there. Experience is basically at 1.5. Okay. Probably more 1.32, 1.35. That's the 5th ultimate encoding of Teleporter 13. All right, we're back to 4 bands. We're going to do this one a little bit different. We'll use a 3-dimensional time machine, the Time Machine Studio, as a core component. Excellent. Excellent. This is soon to be our... So, one thing I want to do here is to have no physical connection between... Interesting. Perhaps we can gain some... Oh my gosh. That's good to know. That is good to know. Hyper instability. But I don't have to worry about that. Though a closed time machine. You know what? Let's actually put one inside and one on top. Question is, interesting. Exactly, stability. Somebody said it in there. Can never underestimate stability. Okay, we're leveling up here. Oh, we just had a full break. It's not his first time though. It's not his first time. You see, he already has a repair right there. We'll repair him up. I'd rather have the time machine working, but that decay lets us know that we've gone into a state of hyper focus and not even realized it. That's one of the main benefits of the time machine ring. Because they absorb decay so quickly, you can easily spot gaps in your own focus diffusion, which is a good thing. Wow. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I don't think he's playing. I was never playing, my friend. Well, I am playing. You know, one of my hypotheses is that play is simply action. Or you could say research in the 6th dimension. Think about the types of play that we do. You can think about it from kids to adults. What are you doing? What's the first thing you do when you play? Let me see what the hover says. What the hoverheads say. What's the first thing you do when you play? Who knows? No. You think? Okay, not bad. Run around? No. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. The first thing you do when you play is you set the parameters. The first thing. You set the parameters. And you never, ever exceed those parameters. It destroys the play. Why? Because what is play? It's a state that allows you quantization within a particular field. Right? So if you're as a kid and you're playing house, what are you doing? You're testing the boundaries of what it means to be in a house, as far as the roles that you're taking on. And the rules can't change. You know, if someone says, oh, you're not, and that's why some people say, oh, you're not playing right. Anyway, it's just a way of fully testing a system at the highest possible speeds. Let's go with sub-platform teleportinos. Putting them at the base. This is all too high up though for a good test. But that's good. It's letting me know. See, even having this three-dimensional thing is showing me the difficulty of navigating. That's interesting. Man. So we have two, the sender and the receiver. All right, let's do a matter test. In a typical teleporter, the concept is to go in and come out. We have to truly discover what that means. It's always glossed over. That's why sci-fi is kind of interesting, because it at least shows you what we don't know. What's happening? What's happening when you go in? Let's get our time machine chips. We need to fully engage the 13th dimension, at least temporally. And this is our only shot. Let's go for... I'm tempted. Should we go 6-7 or 7-6? We'll go 6-7. All right. 6 there. The receiver, we're going 7. Bro, just doing. See, that's, I'm telling you, my friend, you got to get out of your own head sometimes. Your head is great. You know, your brain is wonderful. But you have hands for a reason, my friend. All right. You guys can see that. Putting the sender and receiver, you can already see the improvements of the model. Consider the last model to this one. Now, the fields are all internal. So we need to create the external transmission. All right. Oh. Oh, what am I even? Oh, I'm wearing the portals. Well, we're gonna have to take them off. We're gonna have to take them off because they're essential to the test. All right. Let's do a little pre-assembly if we can. Interesting. All right. Might break that one. We'll take that. Get that in here. Take this one. I don't think I'm gonna get those. Just have to stack them relatively. And the question is, the teleportation satellite. Guess we can have it here relatively. Somewhere up here. Where's it full? Yeah, I wasn't happy when I used relatively right there, to be honest with you. But let me not doubt the science. Not at all. This isn't the time. This isn't the time to doubt. All right. All right, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there for now. But I'm going to use extreme willpower now and go to sleep. I haven't even implanted the cores. I'm talking about sleep. Let's at least implant one core in each teleporter. We've already lost room though for the actual matter. We'll drop 2 cores. We'll drop a little bit of matter and see if we get anything. Most likely, it'll come in some type of encoded form of data somewhere within the time machine apparatus. All right. It's almost entirely set up. Oh, what happened? I just freaking... You know what? Assemble these thusly. All right. Two teleportinos each. The level of complexity is bare minimum in this dimension. All right. Am I missing anything? No. Well, I didn't have the shielding. Let's go ahead and apply that in general. You know what? It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Our chiral left-handed field, teleportation field, will act. Oh, that's really fascinating. Angularity. All right, let's do a matter test. Well, I found out that I needed ubiquitous or identical matter relatively. So we'll take the 2 items. Question is, go straight through, enter the portal, and we'll take this one out. I had to do a little manual teleportation there, but no, let's go ahead and get him in there. tool. The tool, I don't remember which one this would go in. I think it would go in the sender. But it needs to be nondescript. Okay. Let's get a little bit more proximity. Actually, the distance, larger distance is actually better in this circumstance. Given the largeness of the teleportation field. Let's make sure he really is the glue holding our reality together. Oh, jeez. Definitely not that. Did you see that guy? This changes everything. What do we see, guys? Toddler with Einstein vocabulary. It's really not a bad description of me, to be honest. Interesting. And how's the teleporter doing? Well, this is our second teleporter model, fully constructed teleporter model. At this point, trying to see what else we can do to stimulate the teleportation field or the teleportation force. Oh, wait a second. Let's actually connect the different satellite levels and entangle those. All right. There's only one thing for it. Only one thing for it. You can only test so long before you have to fully encode with the fourth dimension. And this is where being an artist and a scientist is a little helpful. Just fully encoding the field, guys. Let's see what sort of dynamics we can pry loose. Wow. 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 That was amazing. That was amazing. I've learned something. I don't know what that was, but I'm pretty sure you saw the top teleportino that was synced with the upper level teleporter satellite was basically hovering between the teleporters. Definitely an excitation of the teleporter 13. Wow. Okay. Now this slime cannot be left here or else it'll wreak absolute havoc. Though how we're gonna extract this, well, I said extraction is focus squared. And we are in a time machine, so. Oh, I'm about to give up. Oh, jeez. This is only getting worse. Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I need to go to sleep, so again, this is the benefits of working with the paper series. Nothing of extreme value will be lost, even if we lose all of the test here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all this into the Time Machine Studio. I don't want these to fall over because they have our Time Machine chips in them. We can get both containers in there. Oh no, Holy time machine chip. Oh, he found his way back home. Teleported there, you could say. And we'll go ahead and close that up. We're going to let that encode until the next test, which you guys will definitely be present for. Thank you. Please send me your notes. You guys join the Hoverheads announcement group. That's probably going to be the best place where we can share notes at this point. It's still early in the test. Tough days, but we got to forge ahead. But there was some data for sure from that right there. That's got to be it for tonight, guys. Gotta go. But let me read some comments before I get out of here. Progress is progress, definitely. Use Legos. That's not a bad idea. I might pick some up actually. It will definitely loop. Oh yeah, it's definitely looping. That's one thing about temporal fields. All atoms have temporal fields, but I mean a time machine has a boosted temporal field. Thank you for the scientific findings. No, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Stop saying don't end, okay? I'm about to get out of here. Encoded overnight. Oh yeah, it's gonna encode for almost 24 hours. Probably more like 20 though, because I'll probably be back. I'm gonna try to, what's tomorrow? Wednesday, or today I should say. Yeah, just pondering the day. So it's Wednesday. You know what? Maybe put one of my paintings right there. That might have some sort of effect. I did say being an artist was relevant. Oh, it's not really in the field. Let's see here. That's interesting. Actually, that's the first time I've put a painting in the time machine, and I have to say, it's not a bad idea. Thank you, sir. It's not a bad idea at all. It actually makes the painting look way better than it's ever looked. Wow. Wow. Liam, what's up? You caught me just in time. Just in freaking time, my friend. About to head out. We had a huge test. Encoding is going on. I'll be right back. I gotta grab a paper napkin. I'm not doing any more tests without gloves. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not doing any more tests without gloves. I mean, I had to push it, and I did get some data. Again, the upper satellite Teleportino synced. Got to get back to the time machine. We need the data. Which makes me wonder, is a painting higher or lower entropy? Kind of interesting. Can't really tell at the moment. But anyway, the upper Teleportino satellite node spontaneously synced with the machine. See, the fascinating thing about slime, this is what I mean by slime being fourth dimensional. It's almost as if the slime is not there. That's why. So you kind of imagine the slime not being there. It's hard to explain, but and so we got our first excitation. One thing that I'm really noticing here is that with teleporters, the teleporter itself has to excite. You have to get an excitation of the teleportation field. Because the resonance has to be between the machine and itself. Anyway, what happened, Liam? What did I miss? Why is everyone saying W, Lena? Oh, I missed the dinosaur. Thank you for the dinosaur. I appreciate that greatly. Dang, why did I miss it? Oh, I can watch it back in the replay. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Whoo! Did you acknowledge my Vaseline? No, I did not. W, Liam. Thank you so much, my guy. Yes, Liam he's I don't know what to say. Just thank you so much. Dang, Liam. What's going on? What's going on? Dang, Liam. Thank you so much. What the freak sauce, bro? What even is that? You know what's funny about that? Whoa, this is actually pretty crazy. That's pretty intense. Liam is somehow synced. He's somehow synced in, you guys, because that origami right there, origami was actually the founding basis of the time machine. I don't have any of those ones with me. Should I do a little test? Liam has inspired me. Liam has inspired me. We're gonna see if this is possible right now. We're kind of deviating off a little bit. Hold on. They're still slide. Liam has inspired me to make a new time machine. I have been encoding overnight about the skill of hoverboards, quantum computing. Really? That's interesting. That is really interesting. Oh. This isn't what I was supposed to do with this, but wow. Full gold direction. Okay. First things first, we need 2 squares. Actually, I could have done this with a piece I already had, but anyway. We'll let this encode off to the side. And actually, this thing is too messy. For the first time in a long time, the time machine space is getting put to the side. Though, I can't work with no time machines. All right. The acrylic rope can come as well. All right. How am I going to measure this to be a square? We're on super crude style. First things first, make sure that length is good. Get that length there. It doesn't have to be an exact square. Just need roughly a square. And right here, actually, that has to be it because I already measured it on the other side. But make sure it's straight enough. I can feel the pearl behind the time machine. You could feel it. Dang. I wouldn't put it past the time machine to encode the sensory data more directly than a simple video would suggest is possible. Oh, it's a good thing about the acrylic series. It's a little more resilient. Doesn't mind me cutting on top of it. Alright. Perfect. Let's get this a little straighter, even though I think it just made it crooked in the other direction, but that's preferable than having it flared out like that. This is a version of the time machine right now that I'm making, fully inspired by Liam, that has never existed before. The consequences of such are highly unpredictable. Cool. Thought he was going to bed. Yeah, I did say I was going to bed, but Liam came in here and gave me an idea, and it's going to be my final construction of the night. I think this data, honestly, if I'm telling you the truth, is also synced with the time. I mean, there's no way it's not synced with the time machine, but also synced with the teleporter. And again, there's no way it's not synced with the teleporter, because the teleporter is in the time machine. And so the data is synced in. Test during, what does it say? If possible, try acquiring an eraser. An eraser works as a lithium battery pack replacement. What the freak? I'm gonna have to do some research. Can anyone corroborate Liam's findings? I don't actually know how to spell corroborate. I don't even think I'm saying it properly. Corroborate? Corroborate? I've just heard it. I've never read it anywhere. Liam is indeed correct. Oh, you concur, J. Mark? Boom. Boom. All right. Let's get this guy to the same level. Indubitably. Collaborate. Okay. Collaborate. Expeditiously. I don't know if I've ever said expeditiously. If I was going to say expeditiously, it would be in a slightly rude way. Be like, please get out of my face expeditiously. Congratulations. On what? Exactly. Not to say that I don't deserve it. This isn't going to turn out well. Our lines are pretty wonky. Let me see if I can fix this. I think it's a little bit too late. Huh? It's not too late. It's never too late. All right. What did I say? Can you show how the 10th Democratic president and some? That's an interesting sentence. Are there any risks associated with these tests as they relate to the time dilation? As you can see, I'm supposed to be asleep. So, 3 hours in the time machine can go by in the blink of an eye. So the time dilation effects are pronounced. How long was this live? Hour and 48 minutes. I promise you I was only supposed to do an hour. I promise. Oh, I gotta go to sleep. This is stupid. I'm doing the same thing I did yesterday. But it's for science. I'll be asleep in a second. I'll literally be asleep in 40 minutes. Well, maybe not. All right, let's get that guy over there. Can't see the line. Oh, it's right there. Come on, there we go. Get it together. You inspire us all. Thank you guys. Ooh, I actually made a super huge mistake, but hopefully I did what I was supposed to do on accident. One of these is supposed to be smaller than the other so that they can actually fit together. Oh my gosh, these lines are awful. All right, let's see what happens when we proceed. We're in the final stages, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is just a new level of the time machine. Boom. Inspired by none other than Liam. Oh my gosh. But you know, there's different things. There's the hoverboard, there's the time machine, there's the teleporter. Alright. You're going to sleep? I'm going to sleep right now. Going to sleep right now. I know everyone did these in 5th grade. Maybe not everyone, but unfortunately they're the same size. But one of them has to be smaller than the other, so we'll manhandle this guy. Actually, he looks like he wants to be the bigger one. Well, now we just got 2 little boxes. It's supposed to be a box that can close, but actually, we'll force it. Press the corners. And then give it some time to set. Boom. This right here, it needs a name. What can I call it? The time machine. Lord Henry, you're cool. Did you eat pork thingies? No pork thingies. I made, I kind of went all out a little bit. Mostly because I didn't eat all day. I'm back keto, you guys, so I'm going to be losing at least 5 pounds a week. Maybe. At least the first week. So I had some salmon and a steak. Not just any steak, but you know the little, what are those things called? Well, not filet mignon, but when they wrap them in bacon, they're only $6 at Not a very good writing of Time Machine, but realize it doesn't matter very much. This is now the Time Machine. The Time Machine. Can't think of a good name. What does the labeling do? Further lowers the entropy by organizing time and ideas. This is the old qubit lattice harness. Great test tonight, though. Time Machine Squared. I like that kind of. The Time Machine Squared. I almost like that. Food sounds good, yeah. And then I made myself a spinach salad with bell peppers, tomatoes, red onions, ranch dressing, blue cheese crumbles. You know what I mean? I really didn't eat all day. For breakfast, I had a Red Bull and one of those Slim Jim cheese pack thingies. For lunch, I had a single baked tender from Publix. And then for late lunch, I had a cheese square from Quick Trip. Time Machine Squared. The little box. Or maybe even the Time Machine Encoder Cube. I like that too. I was just about thinking the Time Machine Stall. Time Machine Stall. It's kind of cool. Add an opening, and you'll have a TM manifold, a Time Machine manifold. I like manifold too. I think it's going to be the Time Machine Stall, aka Time Machine Manifold. I haven't made a Time Machine Sphere yet. That'd be dope. So let's allow for further encoding to take place. We'll put this guy in here and encode him overnight as well. Why not? It's actually pretty cool. All right, we're gonna let this stuff percolate, you guys. How far can the Time Machine go? Right, need to stay, gotta get one. Time Machine can go, really, you know, it's interesting. So we talk about distance as miles per hour. An hour is a measurement in time. What's a measurement in gravity? Because time would have to be measured in miles per hour. Seconds per G's. Anyway, what's a unit of G? Like, G is a unit though. But anyway, it would be, velocity is interesting. It would, has a little heft to them now. But it's interesting. It would, has a little heft to them now. But it's, you know, increase your seconds per the amount of gravity. We're not as free in time as we are in space. Anyway, but it's very slow. It's very slight. I would say 1 second per whatever unit we come up with. Really, this one would be like 1.1 seconds relative to 1 second. We're all moving at 1 second per G, but per, what's the Earth gravity unit? I don't remember. But anyway, all right, you guys. Yeah, time. Wow, we have a unit of time. Hoverheads, another fantastic discovery. Night of discoveries. I have to decode what I learned in the teleporter tests. And it's funny too, because this is the perfect time, because we're about to drop the 13th part tomorrow, and I already know what the 13th part is. It's going to be when the Teleportino and the upper satellite spontaneously excited when I added the slime. It's gonna be some good data. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Liam, thank you so much. Kayla, thank you so much for hanging out, and everybody else for your great ideas. I basically go live every night now. I try to. And so I'll be back with you guys yet again. Oh, it's going to be looping all night. Both of these are going to be looping. The teleporter is in a wild state at this point in the 3D Time Machine studio. So that's going to be encoding all night and all day until I'm able to get back to it tomorrow night. But you guys have an absolutely blessed night, and I appreciate each and every one of you just for being here, just for being hoverheads, just for having an interesting mind and sharing it with me. We're all hoverheads. I'm a hoverhead too. I'll catch you guys later. Hoverheads out.